This is Jeff Weiscarver, and I want to thank you for the time for learning about the GEMPro.
The GEMPro is a monitor. It's designed to identify, quantify the issue for the dentist so they can prescribe a treatment plan that's appropriate for the patient and not just blindly pick one and hope it works. Okay, so the GEMPro, there's two sensors. The first sensor is our amplifier. It does record snoring. It records body position, sleep apnea, and airway issues are highly positional. So we need to know what position the patient's sleeping in because moving the position can be a therapeutic option and a very powerful one, I might add. We monitor bruxism. We count clenches, we count grinds, we assess the strength of the clenching and grinding, and we provide the report, and we can also tell when these clenches and grinds are lined up with the oxygen desaturations. We record heart rate. When there's a lot of heart rate variability throughout the night, we know that that's highly indicative of some type of airway issue. And then obviously on the oximeter, we're going to also record SEO2, which is the number of oxygen desaturations. We call it ODI, oxygen desaturation index. So the oximeter does 4 and 5, heart rate and SpO2, and the DDME amplifier does the first three, snoring, body position, and bruxism. Okay, so that's the sensors, and let's talk about the overall product. The overall product is those sensors that I just talked about, and they're both Bluetooth enabled and transmit their data wirelessly to a tablet that's in a case. So this whole kit goes home with the patient in a case. They open up the case, they remove the two sensors, wear them. So you put a wrist oximeter on like a watch, and you clip the amplifier to the lapel of your shirt or pajamas, and then you go to bed. Okay, it transmits wirelessly those signals to the tablet. The tablet in the morning does a calculation, generates a preliminary report, and then has the ability to send the report to the dentist using Wi-Fi in the patient's home to the dentist. So in the morning, the patient can click next and finished and send, and that data, if they've connected the tablet to Wi-Fi, gets sent to the dentist without the patient even having to bring the device back. And there's some very key situations where that's a feature that only we have, and it's very beneficial for the dentist. Okay, we'll talk about that in just a bit. But know that two sensors are Bluetooth, wireless to the tablet. Tablet collects and analyzes, creates a report, sends the report and the raw data to the dentist. Okay. Here's a copy of the preliminary report from the tablet, and there's a set of graphs. We do calculate some numbers. This is a preliminary report. Now, it provides some good information, and like, for example, the colors on the graphs are based on body position. We love that, and dentists love it. It's critical. So imagine you're a dentist, and they have an airway issue and bruxism as a result of the airway issue, but they're perfectly fine sleeping on their side. Okay, so if you're a dentist, all you need to do is get that patient off their back. There's plenty of ways to do that. There's pillows. There's a bed partner, what have you. I mean, imagine being able to cure snoring with a positional pillow. With this device, you'll be able to make that recommendation because you know that snoring would be positional. If somebody just says snoring, I snore, and you give them a positional pillow, you would never know if they were positional or not. With our monitor, spend 50 cents, find out, and if that's all you need to do, that's great. The patient's going to appreciate it, the patient's bed partner is going to appreciate it, and you've done well for your patient, and you made a couple of bucks in the meantime. Okay, so that's a preliminary report. Again, in the morning, assuming the patient's connected the tablet to their Wi-Fi, we also transmit the raw data. So the dentist gets a preliminary report with the raw data, and there's a desktop application that's included in the system, and that desktop application can do a much more complex analysis of the data that's been sent to them. And this is a sample of that report. Okay, for the sake of time, I'm not going to take a deep dive into everything on this report. For example, oxygen desaturation index, that's the number of oxygen desaturations per hour. a desaturation is 3%. So there's a long list of items here that we calculate. The other thing that I'll tell you about this report is we do a very clever thing, and I'm very proud of what we've developed, and that is we do a calibration right before the patient goes to bed, and that's the calibration instructions are provided in the tablet. So the tablet will tell you exactly what to do, and you swipe, exactly what to do, swipe, and one of those steps is a calibration. And what we do is you have the patient bite down and then relax. Bite down as hard as you can, relax, and we do that 5 times, and then we calculate the maximum waking clench force, and then we also calculate, we average the clenches, and then we do a kind of a, there's an algorithm on that, and then we calculate what we call an EU, an energy unit, and we use that energy unit to predict the energy exerted by the masseter throughout the night. So we have a very clever way to say, okay, this patient clenches a lot, but the clenches aren't very strong. Or conversely, they don't clench, but when they do, it's very strong. And then everybody, patients are somewhere between those two on a continuum on those outcomes. Okay, um, so this is the report. Again, it's very beneficial. And the thing that I keep coming back to is you get this for 50 cents. I mean, honestly, it's that's all it costs to get this data to the dentist.